Good morning, ninjas. Welcome to Princess Ninja and Keto. Welcome to the property that I am working on for the next couple of days, keeping super busy. They raise deer. So this is the beautiful view that I have once I leave the big building I am working on. You can see that back there is a, let's see, an 8-point. Might be a 10-point. I can't count all of the tips on the antlers on that thing. But anyway, yesterday was a super busy day, and right over in the left side of the screen, I don't know what side you're going to see it on, I am going to post a screenshot of my steps for yesterday. Let's get this show on the road. I'll see you at the next segment. This is just a quick view of my nephew's race shop. They have a bunch of big races coming up very soon, and this is what I did yesterday. So basically they have all of this merchandise for my nephew's shirts, and I am organizing them by size and folding them and putting them in totes, and that is what I'm doing and how I'm getting so many steps in. Alright guys, I know that this is not the healthiest option, but I've stopped at my local Wawa. I have another full day of work. I've grabbed myself an omelet with sausage and bacon, some red peppers. That's why you see the red up there. That's red peppers. And then a holiday blend coffee. Alright guys, I'm going to meet the hubs for lunch. We're going to our favorite little burger joint, and I'm probably going to have wings, but since I won't be able to film it once I get in the restaurant, I'll just take a picture of it. So, having wings for lunch. Alright guys, chicken wings it is. Alright guys, going strictly carnivore for dinner. I have this beautiful 7-ounce piece of tenderloin. It's beef tenderloin. And an orange cream soda's at Fizz. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that I would be standing in my nephew's car shop, surrounded by his race cars, and folding his shirts with Michael Hinde on it. It feels so cool to know somebody famous. There's literally groupies that follow my nephew. They go to every one of his races. It's so cool to see. I'm so excited for him. He's got such an amazing future ahead. I just get overwhelmed. And while I am this tiny little microscopic part of his success, my husband, I'm also very proud of him. My husband, man, he works for the company he works for his job. He works 10 hours every day, easy, 10 hours, right? And then he gets off that very difficult, very hard, physically demanding job, and he goes and he supports my nephew. He helps them in the car. That's where he was last night until 10 o'clock. That's where he is tonight. Here we are, 6:28. My husband's been gone for 12 hours, And then check this out. So we're going to get Thanksgiving together. And then Thanksgiving night, he's got a haul butt down to Punta Gorda, Florida. Punta Gorda. I don't know how you pronounce it, so I'm just going to stand here and keep saying Punta Gorda. He's got to go down there, and then they set up on Friday. They race on Saturday. Sunday, he's got a haul butt back here. They've got to change out race cars, load everything for the new race car for the different racetrack. They have to travel all the way to Pensacola, Florida, which is a good 6-hour drive from here. Because my husband's the only one that can drive the semi to carry all of the vehicles and stuff. So my husband drives the semi all the way up to Pensacola, where they're racing another big car race called the Snowflake or the Snowball something up in Pensacola. Anyway, this is a race where you have to race to get into the race. So the top drivers in each one of the race series ends up going to the final race. My husband's going to be gone for 10 days. But holy cow, guys, I was just overwhelmed today standing in that shop thinking, because, okay, cute story. It's a small world after all. Okay, so I used to be a meter reader for the electric company, right? And I used to read the meter at this house, the very house I was at today, before I ever met my husband or knew he existed. They had 2 dogs, Molly and Chopper. And I was reading meters, and I'd get out and throw them the ball. Big old Labradors, 1 chocolate lab and 1 black lab. Great dogs, right? Big property. And then in the last street of meters that I'd read every day, there was this lady who had Australian Shepherds, right? Blue heelers, Australian Shepherds. And all of her dogs were very good except 1. And so I would pull up and I'd honk the horn and she'd come out on her porch. And at that time I was a smoker. That's part of the story because you need to know these details. But I don't smoke anymore. I haven't smoked in 8 years. But anyway, so she'd come out, and because I only had like 6 meters left to read for the day, she'd put the bad dog up. I would go read her meter, and then we would sit literally. We'd sit and shoot the crap. Me and this lady, we would just like sit there because I wasn't allowed to smoke in my company vehicle. So we'd sit there and smoke and talk and chat, blah, 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 blah. That's now my aunt. It's a small world after all, right? So anyway, keep going, fast forward. So anyway, I have known this boy, Michael Hinde, for probably indirectly, I knew him when he was just a little guy, right? He was just a little guy. And to watch him grow up, and he's 17 now, and possibly breaking into NASCAR. And so it's like, I know somebody famous, right? But, I'm just so proud of him. But anyway, come full circle. So the first family dinner that I ever went to, please keep in mind, I read these people's meter, and I had been smoking a cigarette with this lady, So I stopped reading meters. I hadn't seen this lady in 3 or 4 years, right? But I'm sitting there at this family dinner, and I'm looking at this woman, and I know I've seen her before. And I actually looked at her and I'm like, I have spoken to you before. We've had conversation, but I just cannot for the life of me place where I know you from. Well, anyway, she's like, no, I don't know you. Now, I love Tommy, but Tommy is very direct to the point. I love that about her. You don't have to guess. She's not your typical female, play a lot of head games, kind of drama stuff. She pretty much is a very straightforward person like I am. So she's like, no, I don't think so. And then a little later at the dinner party, she's like, I know you used to read my meter. And I'm like, yes, you had the blue healer. And she's like, yeah. And the funny thing is that when I was a meter reader, 99% of the time, I might recognize you, but I wouldn't. I'd be like, I think so. And you'd be like, well, I have the big white German Oh, I know where you... Like, I knew the dogs before I knew my customers. But anyway, that's what a small world that it is. That I knew my husband's aunt and my sister-in-law before I ever knew my husband, right? Right? That's so crazy. But see, that's God's timing. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't God's time for me to meet my husband yet, right? There's another story about us both being in Atlanta, Georgia at the Macy's building. And we think it was around the same time. We actually think it was on the same day. So there's actually another story there, but that would have been 20 something years ago. But that's once again the amazing way God works. Like the person that I was then and the person that he was then, we probably would have never meshed up. But then here we are, just best friends. Anyway, you can probably hear my dogs growling and carrying on in the background. I've been gone all day, so I must give the pups some needed attention. I did not log my calories or macros today. I just didn't have time for any of it. I have one more day of work at my sister-in-law's probably 2.5 hours. And then I'm going to be making myself available to help her with Thanksgiving. I think I may have mentioned that. I want to give a big shout out to Tanya. Thank you so much for your super generous tip on your resin order. I will be mailing that off. I just packed that up. I'll be mailing that off to you tomorrow. Make sure you open, if you ever get a prize from me, or if you ever get a resin order from me, please open up every package, because I like to put a lot of little treats and surprises in there. And if you've ever ordered resin from me and gotten little treats and surprises, comment below and let everybody know what you got that you didn't order. And I want to give you a quick tutorial on changing out the light for anybody that has the Christmas trees. So hold this thought. So if you've ordered a Christmas tree from me, the Christmas trees are lit up with a little light like this. It is this part of the light that is inside the Christmas tree. Now, the bulb should be good for a long time, but you may have to change the batteries, and then you just get the batteries that go in this part that screws on. But if, let's say, the bulb goes out, let's say you put good batteries, they're in the right direction, literally this part, I want to show you this. You'll have to take like a nail file or something. Look, there's the bulb. If you need another votive light because your bulb has gone out, I will literally only charge you for the cost of this and then 50 cents to ship it to you in regular postage mail. But that's how easy it is. And you'll get the new one from me, and then I'll send you the replacement. I'll just send you the whole thing and you can replace the bulb, right? So that was just a quick question. And then of course, if you get the Christmas tree, I always put a little piece of paper here so that the battery doesn't make a connection while it's shipping. See? All you have to do is unscrew and the paper goes right back in. But save the piece of paper so that when you store these, you can keep your batteries longer. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Let me know what your plans are for Thanksgiving, and I will see you tomorrow with another daily vlog. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.